presentation begins, there is another pad link under the name of the presentation. If
you can find it in the submission page in Meta.
Yes. If anyone wants to write a note or something about the presentation, they can do it there.
And
Thank you.
excuse me, can I get the microphone?
Ah, yes. Here you go.
Okay, thank you. So as I mentioned, I know that all the sessions after the lunch are difficult to follow because many people want to sleep, want to rest. But we hope that this workshop on CE Spring is going to be interesting enough so that you can actively participate, share some ideas, and also get some insights on how to organize and what to do with the contest in your country, within your community in the future. Okay, so what we want to do today, maybe it's better to tell you the schedule of this workshop. First of all, we are going to have a brief presentation about what was achieved during the 10-year period since the beginning of the contest in 2015, and what are the lessons that we have learned. Then we would like to encourage discussion in which you're going to be asked about several questions, and so that we can get more insights about what you think from a local perspective about the contest and how it can be improved, what went well, and what should be further worked on. And at the end, we are going to have group discussions on several topics relating different aspects of the contest. Okay, so as you all know, CE Spring was established in 2015, and the idea was to engage members of the CE communities to write articles about different countries, about other countries and communities. And I have to say that since the beginning, since 2015, we have achieved a lot. These are some figures about the number of created articles across years. So as you can notice, in the first year, more than 2,500 articles were created, almost 3,000. And this trend was increasing as time went by. And in the second year, we already had more than 9,000 articles created on more than 30 participating languages. So the peak was somewhere in 2020 during the pandemic, and probably this was one of the main reasons why the activity was much higher, and we reached 16,000 articles created. And the year afterwards, we also had a significantly large number of created articles before we went down and stabilized around 8,000 to 9,000 articles created. So what are some of the reasons for these trends? I have to say that, as I mentioned, during the pandemic, the activity was much higher because people spent more time at home, and they could invest more of their free time to write Wikipedia articles. The second thing is that in some years, some strong communities didn't participate. There are communities that used to contribute with the most articles. For example, such was the case with the Ukrainian community in 2022. They didn't participate, even though they used to be the community with the most created articles. And that's why we had a drop. So like 6,000 articles less than in the previous year in 2021. In the past couple of years, since 2022, I have to mention that some communities also decided to change the model of organizing CE Spring, not only to focus on creating new articles, but also on improving. And the official statistics typically count only the newly created articles, and that's why we have stabilized at a lower level compared to the previous years. All right. This chart shows the number of participants during CE Spring, which more or less follows the number of created articles. The trends are very similar. So there was an increase, a rise until the pandemic years of 2020 and 2021. And then the number of active participants somehow stabilized around 450 to 500. So this is changeable. So this is more volatile than the number of newly created articles. But in general, we have around 450 articles. That's the primary expectation that we have from now on. This chart shows the number of participating communities. As you know, typically we encourage different language communities to take part, even though that's not always the case. And through the years, we managed to reach almost 30 participating communities already by 2015, so the first year of CE Spring. And this number has been more or less the same, around 30 throughout the years. The main reason is that we cannot change the number of participating communities a lot because we have a fixed number of languages in the CE region. We made some efforts to encourage underrepresented communities to take part. For example, we made arrangements with the Romani communities, with the Sorbian communities, with the Voro community in Estonia. They managed to, with the Romanian community, they used to participate in some of the years. They can be called underrepresented because their Wikipedias are really lowly developed and they don't have stable communities, edited communities. So it was very difficult to make them involved in the whole contest. And we also worked on expanding the contest outside of the CE region, particularly to the communities in the neighboring regions, mostly in Central Asia, in the Middle East, but also on some of the global languages. For example, the community on the English Wikipedia used to participate in CE Spring. We also had some participants from the Spanish language community. So the contest has really got a global dimension in the past couple of years. All right, these lines here show the number of articles created per wiki. As I mentioned, typically the Ukrainian community used to be the most active with the most newly created articles, but it hasn't always been the case. For example, we have some simple languages, typically languages with less speakers. I mean, Turkish is an outlier here, but still, this is just to show that across different languages, there have been large volatilities in the number of created articles per year. This is mostly because the communities run different efforts. For example, they managed to invest more time to collaborate with educational institutions, to conduct other community events which aimed at encouraging participants to take part and to be more active in CE Spring. And also there have been some changes that some communities intended to change the duration of the contest. For example, not all communities used to organize CE Spring from the 21st of March until the end of May, because some of them decided to do it only for a month, or 2 months, or several weeks, and so that also makes a difference, because if you cut the duration by a half, then you can also expect significantly less articles to be created. All right, so this chart shows how the largest community has contributed to CE Spring in general over the years. So as you can notice, about 20 to 25% of the articles in the peak years were contributed by the largest participating community. It used to be the Ukrainian Wikipedia, but this share has been decreasing over the years. This is mostly because the Ukrainian community decided to also focus on improving the quality of the articles, not just to create new articles on underrepresented topics. And that's why we got to a decrease of this share to less than 10% in the past couple of years. All right. Another very interesting thing is that apart from the article lists that communities are requested to prepare before each edition of CE Spring, we also managed to introduce some novelties through the years, and with the goal to bridge the thematic gaps that existed across Wikipedias. And such novelties were the sub-contests, which were mostly thematic, on topics that were raised as more gender-sensitive, more bias, gap-sensitive in the movement. For example, we identified three thematic gaps. The first one was related to women, with the goal to improve the state and create as many articles about women as possible. This sub-contest began in 2018, and it really was a success because communities preparing the article lists managed to include more articles about women and women topics in their list so that other communities can use to create the articles. Then in 2022, we also intended to address human rights as a topic. This is very general, and typically communities preparing the article lists get lost and could not identify a lot of articles. And that's why this sub-contest has not been as successful as CEE Women throughout the years. But the good thing is that we noticed some improvement. So it used to be less developed in 2022 and 2023, but over the past 2 years, it has improved a bit. And the latest one is about CEE Youth. The idea is to also identify gaps on topics related to youth in general and young people. The idea is to encourage the communities to prepare article lists on young people and youth so that other communities can use to create articles. This sub-contest is also not as successful as CEE Women, but it's also improving over the years. All right.
So during the years, international team of volunteers is trying to add new things, and as Kirill mentioned, one of that is the new sub-contest that they started. Also, they are playing with data, so they started to have more information about the stats. And as you may notice, in the stats, we are missing quite a lot of data for 2015 when the contest was first organized. Afterwards, it has some changes. Also, during the first years, they had a blog. They are writing quite a lot about topics that is happening, the country that is that they have a timeline in the past, which was focused, which countries are now this week are in the focus of the contest. Then they used Twitter in the past, and also it was created an international article list. This year we added a new thing that was a Wikidata challenge, or Coordinate Me. That was an effort to improve the contest and to add something completely new, where a community which doesn't want to write any more articles to start adding new Wikidata items. Also, in terms of that, what changed during the years of the CEE Spring, we can see that it has more automation during the years. It has more languages in and outside of the CEE that are participating. So we reached the number of 35 communities in the 2024. Then we are seeing that we are less present at the social media. In the past, as I mentioned, it was very important, that timeline and using focus countries and using the Facebook, informing the communities about that. Also, communities changed their event. And as Kirill mentioned, many of them turn out not to organize the contest in 2.5 months, from the 21st of March until end of May, but just in 1 month. And also they don't use it so much or just entirely article list, but they're allowing to be used every topic that is connected with the CEE countries that are participating. Also, what the things that they are not changed during the years, it is that the article list for many communities are not updating, and that's not so good. And it should be updated during the years, or at least every year. But some communities doesn't even spend the time to update their list. Also, the prize funds during the years are the same. The format hasn't changed. The international level is the same. The logo is the same, and the last but not least, how it's always called, Kilo looks the same, and we have a proof. So 10 years difference. So thank you for this short presentation. Because it's not many of us here, but we can spend time to lessons learned, what went well in this year, but also in the previous year from your side, and you can. No.
Okay, so now first of all we would like to ask you a simple question. What went well throughout the years? So from you as a community organizer, as a participant, as a jury member, what do you think that went well in CEE Spring throughout the years? Any comments? Anyone to share opinion? Okay, Mate?
I think one of the things that is good is how it's a fairly well-defined thing, right? Based on time, like we know it's coming between March 21st and what I like about it is that it's well-defined in terms of the time. For one thing, right? We know it's coming in this particular time frame. We also know it's well-framed thematically, right? We know basically what the CEE countries are. We know where to find the competition. It's not new. It's there. Everybody kind of knows it. I also think it's good to have those lists, but as you mentioned, yes, some of them are not updated. So my question would be how often, what to update, and so on. But that's probably a next issue to talk about.
We've noticed ongoing editathons during the contest, successful ones, attracting more participants in the region and bringing more users and contributions.
Thank
you. What I liked about this contest is that, as Matej said, they have all the lists, that articles that can be written in own language, so which allows the people with the certain language users to know more about other communities, other language, other culture, other countries. So, especially for underrepresented communities, which is good, like Kazakh communities, in our case. This one, yes, I liked, and I think this one is a good thing, good part. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Vladimir. I'm from Belarus. This is my first time here, and I've been holding this contest in Belarus since 2018 with 1 year, let's say, stop. I was thinking about what Matej said, and I was going to, let's say, add one more thing from the, let's say, other side. Besides the fact that the contest is well defined, at the same time, it is not well, it is thematic, right? So it's about CE, but it's not thematic in a sense of it's just about literature or it's just about sports. So it's, let's say, the best combination you can get. Like it's basically they talk about the exact territory or exact number of countries, like our region, and at the same time there is let's say no limit, right? There is no horizon. Like anyone is welcome, and whatever your topic, right? Even if you are preoccupied with, I don't know, sports or culture, so those lists are not something that you are obliged to follow as strictly as maybe in other contests. And this is actually the thing that brings a lot of new people who don't even understand the whole concept in the first place, because it's easy to understand for everyone geography, right? You just get the wider region and that's it. So you can combine people of totally different interests. And even when you've got this huge problem actually from, let's say, it's not about Belarusian list of articles, because I was myself the one who grew this list from 100 to 400 articles, like 399, right? And we have another problem, how to make it, let's say, not that numerous, but to have an up-to-date list. That's the point. But from other communities, yes, that was the problem, but this scope of the contest, it also helps a lot in terms of our Belarusian example. Maybe it's the same for some other countries too, not many of them, but at least a couple of examples. I'm talking about diaspora. When you have all those old, outdated lists, and in terms of Belarus, we have all those hundreds of thousands of Belarusians who are right now abroad, and somehow, because there is no restrictions about writing your diaspora or something that concerns, well, not your country, but your countrymen abroad. So you can still write about almost 30 European countries in every corner, right? Like what they do, how do they communicate, even you can touch upon those international bilateral relations. So there is no exact restriction, right, that is put upon in every other contest that I've been part of. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other thoughts? Okay.
I think the what you mentioned, right? It's also kind of ringing a bell with me, right? Reaching out to the diasporas that might not actually live in Central Europe, but are related to Central Europe in many ways. And one of the things I was thinking about also is the Yiddish language, right? Which nowadays basically doesn't exist anymore in Central Europe or Eastern Europe, but there are big communities outside, and they might be interested in participating in this kind of challenge. So that's an example of a community that we haven't quite, I think, reached out to yet.
All right.
I think it wasn't said, but it should be said, that I like spring. I hope you also like spring. And I love the idea about, there are good words into the description of CE Spring, but I don't remember them. But well, the idea to unite a region which has conflicts in spring and have not conflict but CE Spring. I love it. That's why I joined it. And it is sad, why didn't you say that? I hope you share that.
I have to make a comment about one of the sub-contests of the CE Spring contest. One reason why I joined the CE Spring organizing team was to provide my experience, but also help to represent the younger generation of Wikimedians in the lead and the organization of this international contest. So one of the things that I worked in order to ensure that they would run was the CEE Youth contest together with the other members of the team. But the problem with the sub-contests is that they have a few popularity. They're not very. They don't have very much articles and turnover in the most Wikipedias. For example, CEE Youth or CEE Human Rights is have only a couple of hundred of articles together at best during the CEE Springs. I think that one of the lessons that we should learn is that we should promote the sub-contests more and provide more articles to the list while making more the article creation for this sub-contest more open, because one of the things that I observed in the last contest in CEE Youth 2024 was that the articles could be written only from the list, could be selected only from the available list and not from the general amount of youth-related articles in the CEE region.
Okay, thank you, Nikos. I think we can move forward with the second question, which is more challenging. What didn't work throughout the years? Is there something that you tried, but it simply didn't pay off at the end? Or for example, you saw something from other communities, but the very thing didn't work for you.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Andrei, I'm from Slovenia. In a way, with some maybe even developed Wikipedias, I think that it's my experience, it's sometimes maybe time that we change the awards policy. It means that, well, this is my experience when I organized the Wiki Laws Monuments and arranged some super drone to be donated by some company. We had the pictures like no time before, really. And I think that it's maybe time that we think about awards, about who does the much articles for some country, and this country could award, I don't know, a travel package in the worth of 400 euros or something that is, or 500, or I don't know, but something that will help to attract more articles, but you don't get paid in advance because you are not sure that you will win or anything. But for instance, if you are in some sort of a relationship, it will take your time, and you can compensate by inviting some person that lives with you or something. So you are benefited from the attending the competition. And it can be not books, but anything meaningful. Maybe you can even have a budget and negotiate the right award, but not give the money.
Thank you. It's an interesting suggestion, which is worth considering. Anyone to say any failure, something that didn't work?
Maybe just to add, Matej from Slovakia again. When we talk about the number of articles, I'm not sure if it is the best indicator because maybe they are not of high quality, right? So there's always that, should we look at quality or should we look at quantity question, right? And when it comes to quality, then we need to have a jury or some kind of way to evaluate quality, right? So that's where it becomes a more complex issue, right? And then it also comes, then also comes to the regional, differences maybe, So definitely a good idea, but one that is a more complex, I would say.
Yes, that's quite interesting, and typically the juries are advised to come up with their own rules on how to evaluate the contributions. And as I know, most of these communities don't count the number of articles, but use some quality metrics, like the number of bytes, the number of words, and assigning other scores so that you can get to something which is quality related.
Okay. Hello, I am Matteo from Italy, so I'm not part of CEE Spring. I've never taken part, my community never took part, but it's an interesting contest. And me personally, I just this month of September organized something a little similar, a collaboration with a Persian language Wikipedia. We have done a contest. We in Italian Wikipedia were writing articles about Iran, and in Persian Wikipedia they were writing articles about Italy. And for the first time in, I think first time ever in Italian Wikipedia history, we do this editathon, this collaboration as a contest. So we put some prizes. In this case, the prizes were just books. Not exactly like, oh, you get first prize, you get this book. We just decided a pool of like 20, 30 books, and according to your scoring, like for the first 5, the better 5 editors of this contest, they had some amount of budget, and they can choose the books they prefer. They maybe prefer a cuisine book about Iran, maybe they prefer history of Iran, maybe some architecture, I don't know. And what I see, well, the contest ended in like a couple of days, but what I saw so far, it was a big success, and I think a lot of the success, it was because there were prizes that people really wanted to, because they will have some books that can be used as sources, and I really saw users that sometimes just write very few articles and definitely never before about Iran, very enthusiastic of writing, sourcing, translating, so I think good prizes can be a very good incentive, how we say it in English, incentive for this. It may not be books, it may be another something, but I think it's a good idea. But of course, we also try to focus on quality, so we are trying, like for example, counting the number of bytes, so the length of the article. We try to avoid like just pedestrian translations and these kind of things, but still, yeah, it's right. It's more complicated from a valuing point of view, but it's definitely something that, in my opinion, can help giving prizes.
Hello, I'm Osenji from German and Greek Wikipedia. I participated twice in CEE Spring. For German language, it's Austria Wikipedia who organizes it. And they always have little presents, which is for the first 3 people in, we have a list who edits the most in points. If it's underneath 300, you get 1 point. If it's over 300 words and some bytes, I forgot which one, it's 5 points. And the first 3 got a, I think, laptop bag, and the next 7 get either chocolate or USB stick. The chocolate was funny because they sent it to me in Greece. It came here in June and it was all soft, but it was still nice. And this is not a big present, but it's fun to have a post from somebody. And since I live in Greece, in diaspora, and write for German, it was like getting a message from the home Wikipedia. And I think this isn't so much money. And they even gave me a ball pen and a button, which wasn't in the description, but I think this is a nice idea, even if it's something small. It doesn't have to be a drone, it's wow, I mean, or money, but it's like something nice, and you see it and you remember it and you are kind of happy, and that's what I wanted to say. And I don't know if it's motivating other people. I thought it was fun. That's why I tried to get, again, a chocolate this year.
Thank you very much.
By the way, the drone was twice. I got two drones and they were donated by the company. So it was zero cost for Wikipedia. But I have a suggestion. It can be as this criteria that we have, it can be just fine, but as long as article doesn't deserve a cleanup batch, and it's okay.
If to talk about prizes, I'm proud about our winner. In this year in Russia, it was a winner who tried to become a winner for several years. And this year he achieved it. He was very happy and he ordered a vinyl record player. So money are universal, you know. It can be not just money, not chocolate, but a vinyl player. It's up to local organizers. Probably we can share with them ideas that the community wants, I don't know, vinyl players, books, something else.
Really interesting. Yeah.
Just bringing this external point of view, for example, Wikimedia Italia, the local chapter of Italy, we are not allowed to give money in any case. So we have to, I don't know, it's a policy. I actually am not part of the chapter, but I've been told that as a rule, Wikimedia Italia don't give, even as a prize, money to anybody. We can give grants for some project or whatever. Like in this case, I asked the grant, I got a budget for this. And so I distribute the budget in the price of the first 5 person, the top 5 editors. But Wikimedia Italia will be in charge to buy the prizes, to send the prizes, but it does not give money or not even bonus card to buy anything, as a policy.
Yeah, but as far as I know, most of the Wikimedia chapters don't award money prizes. There may be something like a voucher to purchase some goods, but money as cash or money in bank account, no. Not even voucher, okay, so it's even a further clarification. All right.
So what about the lists? I mean, you're laughing. Well, I mean, what I'm asking is there some kind of recommendation as to how often they should be changed, or what exactly should be changed, or even what should be on the lists? I mean, I, as a person who kind of organized this thing, every year I try to update the list somewhat, but not the whole. So like, I don't know, a quarter or something. And my thing is, I try to look at the Wikipedia, or like when you look at the Wikipedias that already have the article, I try to have a certain limit. I think it was like 10 the other time. So if an article already exists in 10 Wikipedias, I just remove it and try to find something that doesn't have, 10 or has 5 or. But is there any kind of guideline that you could share or develop or something about this?
I have a question to you. You talked about 10 languages, 10 CE languages or whatever languages?
I think it's only CE languages that are displayed on the. I believe it's only CE languages that are displayed in the template. Isn't that right?
He's not talking about interlink.
I'm talking about the template specifically, when you have the lists of the articles that are suggested, right? There's a template, and the template, as far as I know, only has CE languages except for English, I believe.
Okay, this is interesting suggestion. I mean, I've also heard that other communities do it like that. Check if the article exists in more than 10 or 15 or 20 languages, and then decide whether to leave it on the list or not. Okay. Maybe we should try to think about the articles that we create from the expeditions, because they only exist in one language, so they qualify for inclusion in the lists.
Yeah, I would like to mention another challenge that, for instance, Armenian Wiki community has with the CE Spring. That's okay. Lists are a problem. For instance, this is my individual case. I was actively participating in previous years, but then I couldn't find any article that was of my interest, so I just didn't contribute or just created one article. But the challenge that I would like to raise here is the period that the CEE Spring happens. This is like March, April, May, mid of March, April, May, and we have, Armenian community has many like projects going on during this period, and those are much more interesting for the community, and the prizes may be more interesting for the community. That is why many people just stopped contributing to CEE Spring and instead joined other projects. And yeah, that is one challenge that we faced these past couple of years, overlapping projects, and one of them was CEE Spring. Yeah.
Thank you, Mari.
I want to raise a topic that I have observed, at least in the Greek iteration of the CEE Spring, because CEE Spring has used to be a highly successful contest in Greek Wikipedia, at least in 2020s. So I always found articles to write, and so I didn't write very much articles. It was very common for many people to treat the contest as an opportunity for some prize and or some other small gain. So they often wrote very much articles, and they wrote very much articles without so much care for the quality, mostly for quantity, just to increase the possibilities of getting a prize. It was especially in 2021, so the quality of the articles was, in the most cases, good. It has been observed that many people are writing just to that some people are writing just for the prizes, given that we always see in CEE Spring and in other contests a few people writing 300 articles or 200 articles or 100 articles. I mean, there should be more wiki love on this matter.
Okay, thank you, Nikos. I think now we can move on to the second part of this workshop. Maybe we can make a short break if you want, like a 5-minute break, before we discuss certain areas for the future of CEE Spring. So we're going to...
Just, it will be, moving is a break.
Yeah, okay.
So we're breaking or? We would like, no, we're not breaking. Stop here, we want to make in either, yes, I think it's okay, 4 groups. 4 groups of you, we will change then, and we will have, cafe without a break, cafe of CEE Spring, and we will discuss several topics in small groups, and then we'll exchange ideas, we'll have some brainstorm. Let's communicate, please. Please do groups. Find someone to work with right now, yes?
Okay, so please split into 4 groups, yeah. We can use group 1 here, group 2 there, group 3 over there, and group 4 here in this part of the room. Yeah, after you join the group, you're going to be notified about the topic that you're going to discuss. 4 topics. But you know the topics. Without those. In general. Participation. Yeah, we don't need to discuss. two there.
So group 4, right?
Please. Are we going to finish 10 minutes before the end so that each of the groups will share the things that we discussed?
Yes.
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a great idea to exchange.
Where did we have time until
into an
3:20?
Yes.
Because then each group will have to present.
Yes. And I will take about efficiency of the context and efficiency of the present method we use.
And it's also useful one of the participants in the group to stand up and present.
Yes.
Not,
I will present in the end of the...
you can present, but you can also invite one from the participants. I'll facilitate. So we have 4 topics. Yeah. Just to mention the topics. The
Nice
first
to meet you, I'm Magda. I love you more.
Okay, so 4 topics. How to improve, what to change in CEE Spring in general. The second one is about the sub-contests. Do you think that they're worth organizing? And what would you like to change? The third one is about new contests, new projects. For example, whether we should include Wikibase, Wikiquote, Wikidata and other projects. And the fourth one is about international participation. So do you think that other communities should join? Do they need to prepare this? Yeah, because at the end it's CEE Spring, so the idea is to focus on the CEE region, but we see that there are also communities from outside the CEE region participating every year.
Yeah, all the best from the group. By the way, it really will be elections this week and then there's a different Georgia from Moldova. Yeah, and definitely there was an interest in other communities would like to join the process. Gratifying. I don't know, bringing something
Okay, time is over. Time is over. We need to wrap up the session. So now I would like to invite one participant from each group to come on the stage and share what you discussed and what you concluded from the discussion. Okay, we'll begin with group one.
With group one, we discussed the issue of efficacy and the efficiency of the current way that we hold the CEE Spring is helping our communities to grow. And the contest will be useful for the communities. What we thought is that we should focus more in expanding certain expanding articles, making the contest more focused to expanding articles, also finding ways to motivate new people to participate, finding ways to make new people to participate, and also to reduce the very common sense of competition and competition in the contest, so that people write not for the prizes but for the Wikipedia, for the enrichment of the encyclopedia, because it is true that many people are being discouraged because of 3 or 4 people writing too much articles in the contest. We also thought of, we also connected the topic with encouraging new community members to be involved more in the movement.
Thank you, Nikos. Okay, I'll share what we discussed within our group. 2 main things. The first one is that CEE Spring should be more advertised to younger audiences so that we have more participants among the youngest age groups. And the second one is to experiment with a new challenge, Wiki Quote Challenge. The idea would be to write quotes, to add quotes by famous people from the CEE region on Wiki Quote. In case we don't have the project in as many CEE languages as possible, we can experiment with the incubator, where we can establish, we can add all these languages, and then see how it goes. For example, if it works well, maybe the project would get independent after a year, and we're going to continue with the project. But anyway, it's good to try in the same way as we tried with Wikidata this year.
So we mainly talked about missing English Wikipedia articles, and that we have a gap between English Wikipedia and other CEE languages. So maybe we can add that point as a translation in the CEE Spring for the next year. And also we spent quite a lot of time to speak about article lists and what is missing in that area, especially general topics. And also that was part of that, but the English Wikipedia, maybe we can add that part of the CEE Spring as a separate contest. To be added during the CEE Spring to be like translation of the English Wikipedia. And Nikos and Nikos especially already shared about improvement of the articles that maybe can be we talked about that as well, to be rewarded much more points than the creating of the new article.
I think that in our group we started to know much more about CEE Spring than before. For example, now all of us, all the group, knows that there are subcontexts. For me, it is an important feedback that it is still not known that we have subcontext. And at the same point, we started tried to find which new context can be held. Mostly because probably we have a trend that we have the same amount of articles, but we have an opinion that probably not. Probably we have less articles, and we should think about more articles. Probably new subcontext can help, probably not. But we thought about ideas of subcontext of art. We thought about subcontext of sport, because now subcontext is very similar to the topic of sports. Almost all articles in there is about sports. And we thought about something that I would like to name recent pop culture, recent sport, something recent, something that happens right now, and to write about it, because it's hard to know in, let's say, Italian, from Italy, to know about pop culture, recent pop culture in, let's say, Macedonia. So it can be a controversial topic, because not all people like, recent pop music, but we are neutral, we are Wikipedians, so we should have this information, and we don't. Yeah, I think it is most our ideas. We have very different opinions, and it's great. We have no one solutions, no one solution where we would be agree with each other, and thank you for that. More opinions, more solutions, and somehow we will have the next CEE Spring, I think. And now we can make you wish true to have a break, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. The workshop is over.